I am Dozzy. Many know me because of ambient and hypnotic techno. We are in San Felice, Circeo, and we are in a piece of land that is inside of a national park. A land I deeply love, and I can say I really grew up here. So I propose to go downstairs. We have private access to the ocean and proceed to some field recordings. I studied when I was a kid. I studied piano, so I learned the basics of music. And in the early 80s, I also got a recorder from my parents. So the first jam is using the field recordings and try to create a pad that would move a little bit with all of the features that this machine has and try to create an ambient track out of it. I started getting interested into the production and using synthesizers after spending quite a long time in the studio of my dear friend Pietro Micioni, the Gimmick studio in Rome. Some great DJs and musicians were going there to produce their own albums. I learned the basics out there, and after a short Berlin experience, I decided to move here to stay at my parents' place and build a studio there. This place has a slow rhythm and gives you the chance to notice small details between the waves. And for sure, this attitude has been influencing me in the production because I like to use few elements, creating a world between the waves. A small micro world that moves slowly, exactly like this place. Music to me is therapy. It's a constant evolution. I don't stick to a unique genre or a type of electronic music. I tend to explore all of the possibilities of what music has to offer. Every little step feeds the next one. This is the way I feel it. So I need to produce different type of things. Otherwise it would be just boring to me. I started with a MIDI keyboard, and I used that to convert CV gate signals to some of my analog synths. After that, I started exploring the plugins, and so I got very excited about delays and reverbs from Arturia. Then it came the analog synth, so the PolyBrute. I have to say that it's quite different from what I've been using before, because I'm used to old analog machines, and this has all the power of old machines. It has two very cool oscillators. It has something that makes it more flexible, which is the digital control. And this offers endless possibilities, and I am still learning a lot about it. I will try with some experiments just to show you the cool features. So the full touch makes the note, according to the way you press it, with a very soft attack. And so, for example, but if I press it very quickly, it's going to be something different. And I keep on pressing on it, and the power and the intensity of the sound changes. Another thing I really like about this synthesizer is the combined use of the filter, because you have two different filters, the Steiner and the ladder filter, and you can combine the two, and once you are happy with it, you can control the master filter, the master cutoff, directly from this button, and I'm using this a lot. Then you have this other feature that I really enjoy, which is the morphe. You basically press the notes, and with this you can gives so much variety to the sound. And I have to say, it's really, really clean, fat. I made, some experiments, and it works very well with the arpeggiator. You can actually combine the arpeggiator and the sequencer together and create really intense, really beautiful sequences.
Certi ricordi non ti sono mai appartenuti.
This place has quite a history. It was in a chapter of the Odyssey from Homer, and this is the place where Ulysses and his mates lost their minds for Circe the witch, which from the legend stays here, lives in the mountain. I don't think there is any other place that is so dear to me as San Felice. I never feel alone here. In the recent past, I've been focusing also on the production of singers. I embrace the projects of the people that I really found interesting for myself. Because at the end of the day, this is all feeding my curiosity. So I came to work with Verde Prato. She's a Basque artist. Same goes for Anna Caragnano. She is the singer I worked with and I produced my most known track called Parola. I also worked as a producer of the Quadro Di Troisi, a project with Pietro Micioni and Eva Geist. About collaboration, I like the fact that you get to meet someone. You exchange point of view, and you mix the creative process, which is something very delicate and passionate and intimate at the same time. So the other experiment that we are going to do is going to be a very minimalistic one, and I'm going to use a very powerful bass line out of the PolyBrute and use it as much lead as possible. And it will be accompanied by a drum machine, which is the Miami. And I will try just to make these two elements work together and be enough. The PolyBrute is a contemporary cool synthesizer. Interacting with him, you just don't feel it's an analog old beast. You feel it's an analog new beast, which is really, really well-fitting to the current times. I love listening to the sounds I do. I love feeling how the sounds change according to how I touch the keyboard or the knobs. I get into trance, and yeah, all of this started because of San Felice. I think it's life itself that brought me to this. All my past relationships, friends, people that came and left from my life, everyone and everything left a stone inside of me. That has been shaping also my sensitivity towards music. I feel there is like an ancient root into this, because I'm not the only one doing arpeggios. So I believe that this way to proceed with sound is really important for a self-happiness, for a self-therapy. I feel that many people get the attention when they are surrounded by this type of sounds. When I play this sort of sounds, there is always something happening. It's the way I know how to make it. I'm not sure I know different ways. It just comes from the heart, very spontaneously. There is not a fixed way to proceed. You have to go with the feeling and really catch the moment, because this is not going to repeat same way a second time. It's a bit like old analog synthesizers. Once you turn it off, you have lost the sound you produced. Producing music is like telling a story, and this is my own story.